Hello everyone, welcome back to another video tutorial. This is a simple body butter you can make for yourself at home, or you can even make it to sell. Okay, make sure you sterilize your work area as you see me doing. Sterilize it with a rubbing alcohol, which is also IPA. Okay, I'll also sterilize my container, the containers I'll be using to package this body butter, and the working tools, the whisk, the spatula, everything I'll be using for this production, I sterilized and wipe them with a paper towel, or if you don't have a paper towel, you can leave it for it to air dry. Then this is my shea butter. I've measured out my shea butter and I'm adding in here mango butter. You can use cocoa butter, you can use any butter depending on how you want the consistency of this butter to be. Okay, and that comes to the ratio of your butters and your oil. All right, so don't boiling the butters for them to melt, and as I'm waiting for the butters to melt, I'll start measuring out my oils. Okay, what you saw me just drop there on the table is coconut oil. I don't think I'll be using that. Then I'll measuring in my almond oil. Okay, the oils you should choose or use depends on your capacity, your budget, and your how you want the butter to feel on the skin, or how effective, how you want the butter to feel on the skin generally. Okay, I've added jojoba oil. I just added grapeseed oil, and I'm adding in my argan oil. Argan oil is good. If you don't have argan oil, you can substitute with another oil that has similar property with it. Then I'm adding in my lavender. I just using just 2% of my lavender oil. Then the next oil I'll be adding is my chamomile oil. I also use 2% of it. Then I'll keep that aside and measure out my vitamin E and my essential oil. You can also use fragrance if you choose to. Okay, what I just added in there is my vitamin E. I use that at 0.5%. Then this is my carrot essential oil. I'm just using 0.5% also of the carrot oil. Okay, and I'm adding in just tea tree oil for that, for antiseptic property. Okay, the reason I didn't mention the percentage I used the the oils and the butter is my choice may not be your choice. Okay, so you should know the percentage of your oil and your butter depending on how you want the oils, the butter to feel. Okay, now this is my melted butters, and I allowed it to cool down to 60 degrees Celsius. Then I added in my oil. Then I put it in the fridge for 3 hours and brought it out. Okay, so when you bring it out from the fridge, if you don't have a fridge, just cover it and keep it in a cool a place that is very cool, so that the butter will harden up fast. Okay, even at that 3 hours, this butter did not harden up as I wanted it to, but I had to blend it like that, mix it like that. Okay, so I'll use the spatula and mix it, scrape the bottom to come up and mix it before I start blending it. Okay, so before I start whisking, you can whisk or you can whip it. If you don't have a whip, if you don't have a mixer, you can use your whisk. If you don't have a whisk, if you don't have any of the two, you can still use your spatula. Make sure you're using a strong spatula, and keep mixing it, keep mixing it. It's going to take time if you don't have electric mixer or whisk, or it's going to take time, but trust me, it will still come out fine. I started with my spatula. I didn't start with electric mixer or anything. It's okay, but it's going to take time. Just use a spatula and mix it very, very well. Keep mixing until you get the fluff, the fluffy texture you desire, that you want. Then you stop. Okay, so back to what I said before. The reason I didn't say the percentage I used is because I don't know how you want your butter to feel. Okay, then you can mix your butter and your oil. You can use 70 to 30%, which is very, very okay. Some people do 80 to 20%, some people do 60 to 40%. Okay, these are the three ratios you can use your your butter and your oil. Okay, butter is always more than the oil, so that the whole thing at the end of the production will not be runny. Okay, you see, have something that has a butter, you know uh consistency. Okay, now this is it after I mixed everything. I mixed that off camera. Then I'm adding in my essential oils, my vitamin E, and little fragrance. I added cocoa butter fragrance to this. Okay, I just choose to add cocoa butter because I was supposed to use cocoa butter for this recipe, but I couldn't get cocoa butter, so I substitute that with a little amount of cocoa butter fragrance. Okay, then I'll mix that very well. Can you see the consistency? It's fluffy, it's light, it's not thick, it's okay, it's soft looking at, it's very fluffy. So just mix that very well, then I'll package it. Okay, let me show you how thick it is. This is how thick it is, and this is how thick I want mine to be. Okay, there is something with this body butter, whipped body butter. They dissolve in hot weather. Like now this is summer. Okay, the weather is very hot now. If you cannot ship this, you cannot sell this to someone that it is in another place without you adding a stabilizer to it. Okay, a stabilizer, or that's as in something that will bind the oil and the butter together for them not to melt. All right, you can use um xanthan gum. Some people do add xanthan gum, some add uh, beeswax. Okay, some even do add stearic acid. Okay, but I don't choose to add any of those. Rather, what I do is, in summer like this, what I do is I make emulsified body butter instead of whipped body butter. Okay, this is whipped body butter, and when the weather is very hot, it's going to melt. It's going to melt down completely. It will liquidify completely. Okay, so if you want to start a body butter business, you should sit down and know what I just talked about now, to know the one that you should make. Okay, I don't usually sell this. What I sell is emulsified body butter. Okay, but this is whipped body butter. So that's it for this video, for this tutorial. This is Jofia DIY, and thank you for watching this tutorial. Please, if you have any question or any suggestion or whatever, please comment in the comment and I will respond to you. Thank you.